Kendall Grayman has found a home in the Athletics starting rotation, as 2016 has been a breakout year for him. His 10 wins leads the team, and at one point, Grayman won 6 consecutive games. The future is bright for Grayman, and he will be an anchor in the A's starting 5 going forward. Tonight, Kendall's last start of the season, he will look to slow down a Mariners team looking to reach the postseason for the first time since 2001. It's the A's and the Mariners, game 1 of 4, and it's coming up next. Well, the A's are in Seattle at Safeco Field. It is the final series of the year, and it'll be the young left-hander Ariel Miranda pitching for Seattle, and for the Athletics, it will be Kendall Grayman. There's your pitching matchup. It's the first of 4 from Safeco. It's the Oakland A's and the Seattle Mariners. You'll see it right here on CSN California. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper for the Seattle Mariners. 4 games left. They're still in this wild card hunt. They're going to look up at the scoreboard and see that the Baltimore Orioles won their game. They just finished off a win, so that puts them 2.5 back in that wild card.
Yeah, it's kind of an uphill battle for them, but they are hopeful that this weekend might be special. And Kuiper, we've talked about it going back to the course of a season. How many games could they have won, should have won, didn't win, and really makes this weekend a little bit more difficult for them. But for 2 members of this organization, Jerry DiPoto, the general manager, Scott Service, their first-year manager. It's been a good season for them, but I think they would love to have gone to postseason.
And for the A's, it'll be Kendall Grayman, obviously his final start this year, and he's had a real nice year, but I think he would also like to finish strong.
11-11 sounds a lot better than 10-11 or 10-12, so he hopes to have a good one tonight, beat the Mariners for the first time, but he's a sinker ball pitcher. We talk continuously about his ability to get ground ball outs, and he did it in his last start. He did a great job getting the ground ball outs. He's done that since Stephen Vogt actually went down on one knee and started giving that low target. He figured out how to get the ground balls, and he has done an exceptional job. He get the strikeout when he wants to or needs to, but I think more importantly, he's a ground ball pitcher making his 31st start. That's really great for him.
All right, Kendall Grayman against the left-hander Ariel Miranda in the first of a 4-game series. Keep it right here on CSN California. Up next, we will go back to the A's pregame live studios and then back to Seattle for A's baseball.
On CSN California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger today at Jack in the Box. Limited time only at participating restaurants. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by America's Tire. Your low-price journey starts here.
Welcome back to Safeco Field here in Seattle. On a weekend of baseball for the Athletics, and they will finish it up against the Mariners, who are hanging around. They're a long shot, but they're still in it for a postseason berth. Let's look at the game time weather for tonight. It's brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. 61 degrees as it's nice and cool here in Seattle, as we figured it would be. Well, weather is always pretty comfortable here, even in the summertime, but it is now heading toward the month of October. So the Mariners take the field. And we're just about set to get things going. Not a real big crowd tonight, although it is still filing in on a Thursday night. So as the Mariners take the field, let's look at the lineup tonight for the Athletics. It starts with Marcus Semien at the top, then Vogt, Healy, Davis. Davis will DH. Valencia, Eibner, Alonso, Smolinski, and Pender.
And the A's are seeing, and this young man seeing the A's for the first time, that is Ariel Miranda, and he is good enough that Mariners are starting him in this 4-game weekend series. His 10th start of the season. And of course his record 5-2, and according to what Rick Riss says, longtime radio broadcaster, his split finger fastball is outstanding. He's got a good fastball, 2-4 seam fastball, but he's not afraid to use any of his pitches, especially changeup, splitter, and fastball.
Defensively behind Miranda, the Mariners will have Aoki in left, Martin in center, Smith in right, Seager, Marte, Cano, and Lynn on the infield with Mike Zunino doing the catching. So that's pretty much the standard group for the Mariners. As we showed you in the open of our show, and just a reminder, the Mariners are now 2.5 games behind in the wild card race, so they really probably need to win all 4 games this week and have any chance. And even then, it may be a long shot, but they will play it out, and they are still in the conversation. So Miranda has finished up his warm-up tosses, and we're set to go from Safeco. As Marcus Semien steps in. As far as the A's go, they're trying to just finish on a high note, and they're sort of limp at home. The A's have lost 8 out of their last 9, and they're 67-91. So they will try to have a good weekend of baseball here in Seattle. Now Marcus Semien steps in. The first pitch of the ball game is a fastball in for a strike at 90 miles an hour from Ariel Miranda. Semien, a 3-run homer last night to get the game close down in Anaheim. A's came up short. Strike 2. Umpires Chad Fairchild calling balls and strikes. James Hoy, Marvin Hudson, Jim Joyce.
At that Jim Joyce, you get to hear his lungs and the loud calls on Sunday in the series finale, the final game of the season. As the rotation will take the veteran Jim Joyce behind the plate on Sunday.
Well, let's hope Jim has a nice big strike zone on Sunday.
I'd say if the game doesn't mean anything, it will be, or should be, put it that way. That's why so many no-hitters are pitched on the final game, because guys are swinging and umpires saying, let's go home. Of course, not what the rotation is going to be for the postseason for all the umpires.
2-pitch. Semien fouls it to the net.
So far, nothing but fastballs from Miranda. It's King Felix scheduled to pitch on Sunday. And what would be the finale? Or not. We'll see if it means anything. He may not take them out.
2-pitch, and Semien swings and misses, and that's how the ball game starts, with a strikeout.
Well, it seems like Miranda is pretty easy to pick up his pitches, although that one at 85 and kind of a changeup, did not throw the splitter, There's a splitter thrown with a little bit less velocity. The changeup is about 7-8 miles an hour lower than his fastball.
So with one out, here's Stephen Vogt. A little bit more on Ariel Miranda. He's from Cuba. It was a straight up deal. Wade Miley, the veteran left-hander, for the young left-hander Miranda, with the Baltimore Orioles at the trade deadline. He signed with the Orioles last year, and then the Orioles dealt him over here this year. I can see the Mariners and why they made the trade. Miley's a decent pitcher, but you have a chance here. Maybe Miranda, when it's all said and done, a little bit better than Miley. And a nice play by Aoki. So Aoki takes a hit away from Stephen Vogt. 2 outs.
That's exactly what we talk about. Aoki playing shallow, went to the dive, but if he's playing, look how shallow he is in left field. Great shot, Tommy. And there's perfect as he broke in straight and took a hit away from Stephen Vogt. And it's so important for them to play shallow. In this case, it would be the right-hander Healy, and of course in right field, Seth Smith is playing in quite deep. Last night, if they watched the video, saw Ryan Healy hit a couple of balls off the wall in Anaheim.
First pitch is a strike. Healy now at .313 with 12 homers and 35 RBIs.
Say about Ryan Healy, we've had the opportunity to see him every day since the All-Star break, and nice to hear and talk to people around the league as they're seeing him for the first time and commenting about the success he's had.
Starting to make a little name for himself, even though it's only really been a half a year. So 0-2. A lot of strikes by Miranda in the first inning. And he blows Healy away with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. So pretty impressive first inning for Ariel Miranda. And the Mariners come to bat when we come back. Hometown Seattle Mariners. Aoki in left, Smith in right, and then it is the big three. Cano, Cruz, and Seager, all having terrific seasons. Adam Lind will hit 6, followed by Leonis Martin, Mike Zunino, and Ketel Marte.
Kendall Graveman looking for win number 11 in his first one against the Mariners this season, as he is 0-3 and a no decision. His only win came last year on America's birthday, the 4th of July, as he defeated the Mariners. I'd like to do that again tonight in this last weekend and his final start of his 2016 season.
Trying to get that 11th win. It's been a little bit elusive. Graveman's last win was on August 24th. That was 5 starts ago. And I agree with what you said, Ray. 11-11 sounds a whole lot better. than 10 and 11 or 10 and 12. And once it goes on the back of your baseball card, it doesn't change.
It never changes, and that's
I
always.
mean, none of your stuff changed, did you? After you retired, numbers are there.
I wish it would have something.
Add a few here and there. So these are guys in the lineup tonight against Graveman. Look at Aoki, Smith, Cano, and Cruz. Huge numbers. So that's something to keep an eye on tonight. The other guys, he's been pretty good against. But so he's got to control the top 4, something he has not been able to do.
8 earnings he gave up in 12 hits in his last start against them at the Coliseum. So that's kind of a redemption for him to try to do something special tonight. A lot riding on this, and I think you said about 2.5 games separates the Orioles and the Mariners because of the Orioles already winning. Well, Graveman picks up a good win, and could also put some damage into the Seattle Mariners in their season.
One and one to Seth Smith.
And we always talk about innings and how the increase of the innings over the course of season to season. Numbers for Kendall Graveman, that ERA approaching 7.5. But I think from Kendall Graveman's standpoint, if he can go into the offseason 10 or 11 wins, and he can say, okay, next year project maybe 14, 15, and just keep building up. Maybe that's being conservative, but it's something to shoot for. The number one, be healthy, as we saw Sonny Gray last night. Plus for him to pitch the 1 inning, go into the offseason healthy. Same for Graveman, and we'll see Manaea on the final one, Cotton on Saturday. Contra's pitching, so it's a good problem to have with the abundance of pitching.
1 and 2 to Seth Smith. 16 home runs for Seth Smith. There's Sonny Gray, who enjoyed his 1 inning of work, I'm sure. Hayes arrived here in Seattle. We landed about 2:30. Got to the hotel about 3. So it was a late night for the Athletics.
I think Sonny Gray's just proving exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
He's rubbing his eyes. Keep his eyes open.
He's not the only one. Close pitch. Graveman thought it was strike 3.
Should have been. Two-seamer trying to bring it back. Stephen Vogt holding it, and no surprise it was not a call. Tonight, Mike Trout got a 2-2 pitch from Sean Manaea on the corner, or at least close. That could have been called a strike, was not. On the 3-2, hit a fastball or a changeup for a home run.
And Smith swings over top of that pitch. So Graveman does get the strikeout. Defensively, it'll be Smolinski, Eibner, and Valencia in the outfield. Healy, Simeon, Pender, and Alonso on the infield. And Stephen Vogt is the catcher. So with 2 outs, here's Robinson Cano. Look at the numbers for Cano. 36 homers, 97 RBIs.
Five minutes for Robbie to get in the box, to dig in, to say hello to Stephen Vogt, to the home plate umpire, acknowledge the A's dugout, and take strike 1. All that happens. I've known some pitchers, you start digging in like that, you know where the first pitch would be? Someplace you would not want it as a hitter. Actually, you want to be covering up the hole that you just dug.
I think those days are over.
Oh, yes, of course.
See, my theory, and not everybody's going to like this. I think your batting average has to be a certain spot.
Exactly.
And if it's not over that spot, then get in there and hit.
That's right. That's a great point.
If you're hitting under 250, get in there and hit.
You walk the walk, you talk the talk. You can do whatever you want to. And Robbie's going to be around. He's been around a long time.
And the lines one just foul.
No, that's a great point. It's like Adam Rosales hit a home run. He goes around the bases faster than anybody. He's not going to show up anybody. He may show up people who say, why are you running so fast on a home run? But that's something he's always done. We saw it firsthand, and he's continued to do it now with the Padres. thing for Kendall Graveman is accomplished already, and that is getting Aoki and Smith for this very difficult middle part of the lineup in Cano, Cruz, and Seager.
1-2 now to Cano. Yeah, those three have combined for 107 home runs this year. It's a tough group. Swing and a miss. So Kendall Graveman strikes out the side. Nicely done by Graveman. So he's off to a good start. Bottom of the first is over, and it's no score.
Baseball Live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment, any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and your tablet. They're doing it right now.
Yep.
It's out in the standing room only section, right? That's the party place?
Party deck.
Party deck and left center.
Top of the second, Ariel Miranda had a couple of strikeouts in the first inning. He'll face Davis, Valencia, and Eibner. First pitch in first strike. 13 pitches, 12 strikes so far for Ariel Miranda. So Chris Davis homered last night in Anaheim. It was his 41st of the year.
No reason to jump. 41 and 100. Sounds pretty good.
So 2-1 to Davis. It's this one in the air. Foul territory. Adam Lynn near the seats. And he will run out of room.
You know, Captain, I always talk about Safeco Field when, of course, they left the Kingdome across the way, which is now the football field stadium. But the ball didn't carry here as well as indoors, obviously. But Chris Davis makes every park look small. Just the way he swings, the balls that he can drive at all parts of the park. And Cruz and Chris Davis back to back with KD with 41 now. I think this is going to be the telltale sign of this young man Miranda, what he's going to do on a 3-2.
Davis went after it, checking to see if it was a strike. So third strikeout for Miranda.
That's at 81 miles per hour, and that would be in the split finger category. That was probably thrown more as a split change than the splitter, trying to get a swing and a miss on a bad pitch. It was like he wanted to throw it for a strike, and he did it.
So here's Danny Valencia hitting in the 5th spot. 287 the average for Valencia. 17 home runs. 51 RBI. He was 3 for 11 in that series down in Anaheim. Valencia, his career best in home runs in a season was last year when he hit 18. So he'll try to get to that this weekend in the 4-game series. That one's driven toward left center field. It is off the wall. Picked up by Martin, hustles it back in, and Valencia's got to get on the move, and he's got a 1-out double. So it hit about halfway up the wall. So he was close to home run number 18, not quite.
Well, that's a pitch that just says hit me, and he hit it, and you cannot assume it's going to go out. He's running hard and looking, but if you do not run hard thinking this might be out, and it almost was, you might be thrown out because Martin can throw. He can throw, he's accurate, and Robinson Cano making the tag in case Danny Valencia overslid the bag.
So that'll bring up Brett Eibner. Had a good swing at a fastball, 92 miles an hour. Eibner needs a good weekend. He has really been struggling. He's 0 for 15 and 2 for his last 31. And he's getting a pretty good opportunity to play here the last 3 weeks. I think it's tough for a young player when they know they're getting an opportunity. And then if you struggle a little bit.
You want the opportunity, but you also want to take advantage of the opportunity. And he's been given both and now needs to take advantage of it. Because it is a month. It's been a month of kind of evaluation. I know the skipper talked about Eibner in particular when he attempted to sacrifice in Anaheim, latter part of the ball game before the Angels scored, and said we need to be able to execute those little things that need to be done. And that's why it's an evaluation process in this month.
Well, that's the concern too, is obviously if you're doing Ryan Healy, your evaluation, well, you're like, hey, you know what, this kid has a chance to be a pretty good hitter. But if you're struggling, what's the evaluation? I mean, I don't think you're going to, nobody's going to say, hey, he can't play, but it's obviously a much, much better feeling. You've got some numbers to back it up, even though if it's just for a couple months.
I think one of the great shots it just showed was Stephen Vogt, kind of the veteran on this ball club and leader on the club, talking to Ryan Healy, or Ryan Healy maybe asking him questions. And, you know, Stephen Vogt took a 2-strike pitch the opposite field, almost got a base hit. Ryan Healy struck out on 3 pitches. And, you know, that little conversation, it's not just about what are you going to do for dinner. It's baseball talk. And that's what's nice about Healy, the youngster, being able to try to learn. I think the brain of Stephen Vogt may be something he can learn from him.
Well, those two spend a lot of time together.
Yes, they have.
Eibner gets jammed. Oops, one fouled on the right field line.
The old saying is, Cap, if you think you've known it all, you've learned it all, it's time to leave, because you're learning something every day at this level. Hardest thing when you get here is to stay here. Because sometimes you get a chance to get here, as we talked about before, but what you do when you are here determines whether you stay or not.
2-2 pitch, good, sharp breaking ball. Nasty pitch.
And especially with a runner at second base, he's trying to get him in, and again, that velocity is his split finger fastball velocity. Eibner didn't like it, but looked like it crossed the middle of the plate.
So with 2 outs, here's Yonder Alonso trying to knock in a run. Lefty on lefty, and it's popped foul back. Fastball change and the splitter.
And so those actually the one that was thrown to Eibner looked like a slider the way it broke.
It did look. Maybe it wasn't.
It was a split. It was a splitter because of the velocity of it. The slider's thrown harder than his splitter, but I think his splitter is more, again, like a changeup. He's not throwing it really hard to try to get the swing and miss.
Popped up toward the shortstop Marte, and Marte's under. He makes the catch. Side retired. So the A's strand Valencia at second base. Bottom of the second coming up. Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by AAA. Get a free A Stadium blanket with any new AAA membership. Visit a participating AAA branch today. Restrictions apply. Good look at downtown Seattle. Space Needle in the background. Last time the Mariners were in postseason was 2001. It has been a long time.
It's hard to believe. That long? Wow.
Longest drought in the big leagues. A couple years ago, they were close. They won 87 games in 2014. Where they kind of pushed the A's right at the end. But the A's ended up getting a win on the final day in Arlington. But last year, they dropped to 76 and 86. And that is the postseason drought list.
Well, we're waiting. Hoodie.
Hoodie went to the movies there. It's Judge Schmel's reference from Caddyshack. Bounced foul. But if we're allowed to use that as well. Edgar Martinez was part of that 2001 team. They also made it to the postseason in 2000, 95, and 97. It's good teams, just could not get to the World Series. Cruz with a leadoff one.
Well, you think about the 2001, they won 116. You figure you're going to go wire to wire. Their manager, Lou Piniella, 1990, did exactly that. Was the manager of the Reds, but they just couldn't get the job done. Win that many games of regular season, people just assume, well, they're just going to walk right through the postseason. It's not that easy. 116. You think about a 162 game schedule, do the math. They didn't lose a lot.
Did not.
I mean, you think about 100 is great.
They had that was a pretty complete team. They have a lot of weaknesses. Mariners in their 40th year as a franchise, started in 1977.
Thinking about that today, Kipe. I was here the last 2 weeks of the '77 season and playing at the Kingdome, and you wake up and pouring down rain, and oh, there's a roof.
Yeah,
you know. And you look at the Kingdome and here, I mean, you can say you're going to play every day because there it was indoors, a domed stadium.
That one is hit to center. Just got under it a little bit, did Seager. Cruz bluffs going to second.
Better be a bluff. That's pretty strong arm by Eibner. But
Kyle
that's
Seager put a charge.
You know, that's this time of the year, Kite, too. I think there's a little bit of heavy air, cooler, and that ball was crushed by Seager. That's the disappointment when you hit a ball that hard. And he's sitting on 30 in '99, just like Chris Davis at 40 in '99. He got his 41st and 100th last night. But you get some elevation, just like the heavy air knocks it down. I would think you become more of a pull hitter at this time of the year just because it's so hard to hit the ball out from left center to right center.
So here's Adam Lind.
Number 21 right here.
Adam Lind, pretty good power numbers, 20 homers, 58 RBIs. Platoon situation with Dae-Ho Lee. If you kind of put their numbers together, Ray, Lee has 14 homers, 49 RBIs. And Lind, 20 and 58. That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
And getting plenty of production from first base. Line drive, Simeon has it. So that one right up the middle. He's had the shift on, and Lind can't believe it.
I'm chuckling because there we go again. There's a line drive up the middle. Great job of hitting. Oh, there's a shortstop. I mean, how many years in the past you never saw that? And now it's just an out, just a line drive out. Great approach by Lind, but just an out.
So 2 away. Here's Leonis Martin. Martin goes after the first pitch. Fouls it back. Something that was happening in baseball, kind of sliding under the radar with all the pennant races. I didn't realize it until about a week ago. Freddie Freeman had a 30-game hitting streak from the Atlanta Braves, although that ended tonight. Get caught up in the races that are going on with the wild cards. Shouldn't forget about a 30-game hitting streak.
No, still 26 away from tying the all-time greatest.
0-2 to Martin. Huge jump. No reason to throw. So Cruz gets himself into scoring position. He just took off, and Graveman did not take much of a look at him.
Ball in the dirt. Stephen Vogt was not going to throw anyway. As great as he has been throwing, but you give a gift like that, that's just putting a runner in scoring position, and a couple of strikes on Martin.
And that is at the knees, strike 3 call. So 4 strikeouts for Graveman. Runner stranded at second, and we're headed to the third. No score, A's and Mariners.
Better Health joined forces to launch the inaugural Fitness Sluggers program designed to educate and encourage youth to live healthy and active lifestyles. Participants competed in monthly fitness challenges with select winners earning A's game tickets and other great rewards. You can take the Fitness Sluggers pledge and download Fitness Sluggers posters by visiting athletics.com/fitness. All these people with their phones, they must be downloading it right now. Or checking out something, because you come to a game to get on your phone. Unless you have the app that you're watching other games in progress, maybe.
Keeping an eye on what's going on. Smolinski, Pender, and Simeon here for the A's. Smolinski hitting in the A spot. Miranda with 4 strikeouts, 2 in each inning so far. First look at Ariel Miranda. Miranda made his major league debut in July of this year with the Orioles, but it was here. And then soon after that, he was traded. Skied left side of the diamond, and coming down near home plate is Seager, and he grabs it. So 1 away here in the top of the 3rd. Miranda is finishing strong. Boy, that's nice to see for a young pitcher. In the month of September, he's 4-1 with a 2.79 ERA. He's, I'm sure, in the Mariners' plans for next year.
Well, there'll be a lot of hopes. Of course, they have Felix, Iwakuma, Paxton's coming back, and they start talking about some of the youngsters, and then they go in, they hope don't get hurt, because it seems like there are a lot of players these days getting injured. Saw the number, Kay. I thought it was $500 million, $700 million that players on the disabled list have been paid this year. $700 million.
Martin hustling back, and he gets back and he makes the catch. That is a scary number.
It is scary. If you think about how many games lost, how much money paid, because every player that's on the disabled list means another player is on the roster that you're paying too.
So with 2 outs, here's Marcus Simeon. Simeon shows bunt, and it's a strike.
He's looking down to Seager at 3rd just to see if he's going to stay back, which he did until he squared around to try to lay down a bunt.
And now Marcus behind in the count, 0-2. Miranda seems to work quickly. Foul straight back with the fastball. 95. So we've seen Miranda's fastball go from 92 as high as 96.
Well, last night Marcus Simeon hit the 3-run home run off Oberholzer of the Angels. This is what smart hitters do. He said he watched Danny Valencia when Oberholzer threw him a 3-2 changeup. He said, well, maybe he's going to try to get me out on changeup as well. He tried, and that's when Simeon hit the 3-run home run. Went down and kind of hit it one-handed, but you know, that's sometimes important to watch what a pitcher does and the hitters who are hitting before you. You're standing in the on-deck circle and kind of watch those things. Simeon did last night, and it paid off with the home run. Stephen Vogt's got his eye on the lefty right now.
Pitches in the dirt. So now full count.
Now watch his one-handed swing from Marcus Simeon, the changeup, and just went down and drove it really without any problem into the bullpen, caught by John Axford as he was preparing to come in the game. So Marcus Simeon, 3-run home run, his 6th of the season, giving him 27.
headed for the seats down the right field line. Most home runs in a season in Oakland A's history by shortstop Miguel Tejada holds the top 3 spots 3 straight years.
4 out of 5. Miggy was pretty good. And at one time, Miggy thought he could make a play on every ground ball hit, whether trying to turn a double play or not.
Left field and deep. Aoki going back. Aoki near the wall. He's got it. So Simeon just missed it. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be Zunino, Marte, and Aoki. No score. No score, bottom of the 3rd. Mike Zunino to lead things off here for the Mariners against Kendall Graveman. Outside corner strike. Marte to follow, and then Aoki for the Mariners. Eleven home runs for Zunino.
Unfortunately, too many against the A's. Did not start the season, but want to come back. And great story about Mike Zunino. He's up and went back to the minor leagues. Came back a power hitter. And he's always done a good job catching.
Defense plays Zunino straight away. Pitch, and that's a strikeout, and that's number 5 for Graveman. So 1 away.
Well, so much for the ground ball out tonight. If you can get strikeouts, don't have to worry about ground outs and making the plays.
So, Ray, you know our good friend Scotty, the ball boy, down the left field line at the Coliseum. We have some sad news. Scotty's father, Hank Massler, passed away last night. We found that out today, and we want to send our condolences along to Scotty's whole family. We mentioned a couple days ago, Scotty looked a little down sitting in his chair down the line. And what we didn't realize is that his father was very sick.
Yeah, it was kind of a sad time, because you're right, he had found out that it was not going to be very long, and unfortunately it did happen. So we do wish. And Scott is such a good kid, works hard. Steve Wusenet talking about how hard he works and kind of person he is. Always got a smile on his face, working hard either in the clubhouse or down on the field, protecting the players, the relievers. Scott Emerson was really torn up about it too, because he was down there all the time with the guys in the bullpen right next to Scotty.
Pender charges his throw to first. In time on a close play. Marte very fast, and I'm sure the Mariners will want to take a look at that one. Scott Service says, nope, they got him.
Wow. Well, I tell you, watching it straight on, but there he did get it.
So good call by James Hoare.
And a great play by Chad Pender, charging, throwing back across his body. But boy, you look at that in real time and you say, can't believe it. But hey, James Hoare did not call it quickly. He waited. Scott Service said it's enough and he's out.
Very high down the right field line into the corner, but foul. So Aoki saw one he liked on the first pitch.
That's the same guy who was bunting with 2 strikes in his first at bat. Hit a home run at the Coliseum against the A's. It turned out to be costly. Some surprising power. I always think about Ichiro would hit a lot of ground balls, had infield hits like Aoki, but could turn on the ball occasionally. A little bit more occasion if they wanted to. So really, it's been a tough year because Matt Weiss, of course, his father unfortunately passed away, and Matt, one of the hardest working, and the A's down in the clubhouse there on the visiting side and the umpires, and now for Scotty and his father. I wish them well.
1-2 to Aoki. Graven kicks and deals. A little flare to left, and that'll be a hit. Well, Aoki, that's what he does.
And really, if there's ever a time to play shallow in left field, it's with Aoki.
Big time.
And he just flipped the bat, or threw the bat at the ball, basically with a high leg kick and running out of the box as he hit it. But with that kind of a swing, there's no way he's ever going to hit a ball over the left fielder's head. Even if you're playing behind the shortstop, got a chance to rob him.
So 2-out base hit. Aoki, base stealer, although this year has not been very good. He's been successful 7 times, thrown out 9 times. And that's why he can be a tough out, because he will just flip the ball to all areas of the field. But I agree with you. The left fielder should play right behind the shortstop with Aoki.
Yeah. And even right now, Jake Smolinski is deep in left field with Seth Smith, and
Seth Smith is not going to hit it over your head.
No, he's more of a pull. If he hits the ball for power, to be right field. But you know, defense of the A's outfielders, what we have seen really in the month of September, this guy's moving all over the place. Had Valencia in left field the other night for the first time in Anaheim, and went after a ball, and there's a little confusion. Jake has been playing right. He's played center, now playing left. And I think it's kind of a learning process. Just trying to figure out what to do in different certain situations. But for the right fielder, Valencia now playing deep because Seth Smith has that power. Chad Pender playing him in the shallow right field.
1-2 now to Seth Smith, who struck out in the first inning. Smith, one of those guys that we showed you in an earlier graphic. He's hit Graveman well. 8 for 16 now after that strikeout. Mariners don't run a lot. They have 54 stolen bases on the year. That's 12th in the American League out of the 15 teams. But as a group, they are 4th in the league in runs scored. And they're 3rd in the league in home runs hit. So they rely on the long ball. They haven't been their major improvement. Last year, they scored the 3rd fewest runs in the American League. So they have made a huge jump offensively. And 216 home runs. 3-run homers, that's their thing. Ray, you love those 3-run homers.
Hey. Late Earl Weaver.
So do the Mariners.
Earl Weaver, he thrived on the 3-run home run. For us to see and watch the A's hit 7 in one road trip. That was pretty amazing. Kansas City and Texas. The A's should do that. And pitchers love the 3-run home runs.
Coming inside. Belted toward Eibner. Eibner's there. He's got it side retired. So a 2-out single by Aoki. He is stranded at first. And we're on to the 4th inning. No score. Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Breakdown for Ryan Healy. He was brought up in July, right after the All-Star break. 241 in July, 303 in August, and then the huge month of September for Healy. 6 homers, 18 RBIs. He's got 36 hits in the month of September. That's the most in the American League. Not rookies, everybody. So that's the kind of September that Ryan Healy is having. So he's enjoying the heck out of the last 3 months.
And on Sunday, when the season ends, he's going to be very disappointed. It's the kind of year you want to just keep going, playing it out, and I'm sure he will rest, get ready for next year, and it's got to be a great offseason for him to be able to know that when he reports to Arizona, it's not going to be latter part of March. It's going to be middle part of February, getting ready for the first game. Because the WBC, there's going to be some games started earlier.
That's right. He's not going to be up the street from Hohokam.
We're at 25th against the Cubs in Mesa.
One and one the count. He was struck out in the first inning. Telling you, Greg, it's Troy Gloss.
That's right. We just saw him in Anaheim.
He looks exactly like him. At least his swing. That one's drilled right field. Smith to a knee grabs the line drive. Good at bat.
Yeah, if he does that, and we saw the 2 doubles off the wall in right field last night in Anaheim, and he's got scary power to pull it as he hit the towering home run at the Coliseum in the final game. See Kurt Young back in the back of the dugout. Happy to know that Kurt is back on the bench tonight. Scott Emerson said it was the worst trip he ever took the mound. He said, I've never ever gone to the mound and gotten back to the dugout. Somebody's home run. Never happened. So Emo back in the bullpen. And Kurt Young back on the bench and happy to hear that.
He said foul ball. He said got him pretty good.
Yes,
he said he saw it coming, but he just turned his head at it. Got him pretty good, right behind the ear. He had a pretty good little lump right back there, but he said he felt okay.
And unfortunately for him, Steve Vucinich was in the clubhouse when he had maybe some ice, and Scott Hannibal from the area came in to say hello, and so Vuce showed him that photograph, which I'm sure Kurt says, why would you take that? He said, I'm trying to get through this time knowing that just took one off the head and it hurt.
Patched him up a little bit. See it right behind that left ear. He's got a little mark. Two and two now, 95 miles an hour from Miranda. Davis chases that splitter, and it's a good one. So that is strikeout number 5 for Miranda, and the A's go quietly in the top of the 4th. A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Go out for a train ride through the Redwoods on Thomas. Come back with Percy. Some say it's a trick. We say it's a treat. Bottom of the 4th inning. And it is a scoreless game between the A's and the Mariners. Heart of the order. And I mean the heart of the order. Cano, Cruz, and Seager. Pitch is low. Saw some Stanford folks coming into the hotel today. The Stanford Cardinal will be playing the University of Washington tomorrow night. We're at Husky Stadium. So that's a big game in college football. It'll be right here in Seattle.
So how many thousand are going to be there?
There'll be, well, that's 60,000 seat stadium over on the campus of the University of Washington. Good luck to the Cardinal tomorrow. Robinson Cano does not like that call. Nope. Thought it was a little bit low. Robinson Cano generally has pretty good idea of the strike zone.
Yes, he does.
So you always sort of give him the benefit of the doubt.
Nice ball in.
Cano taps it toward first. Alonso has it, and that's out number 1. There's the big 3, Cruz, Cano, Seager, the home run totals.
You got a
this
friend.
season, and then you see in 1997 and in 1996, Paul Sorrento.
That's right. We saw Paulie. Number 44, Paul Zunino, Jay Buhner. Bad to the ball. There's A-Rod. Griffey Jr. in 96. But as Hoodie would say, you got a friend.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next one.
Now 0-1. Nelson Cruz didn't like the call. Working quickly in good rhythm. 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He's allowed just 1 hit. It was Aoki's 2-out single last inning. Close pitch. Cruz bounces it toward short. Tough hop, but Semien stays with it. That ball, it was going to be a fairly big hop anyways, but then it jumped up a little bit higher than Semien thought, but he stayed with it.
Oh, yeah. Really, as he caught it, got it in the heel of the glove, took it right up into the pocket and recovered nicely. Shortstop, second baseman probably have the smallest gloves of the infielders.
So 2 outs, and that'll bring up Kyle Seager. That's a small one. Pender.
I heard something last night or after Joe Madden had Rizzo and Zobrist switch positions on a, I guess, a bunt, and they have to use the gloves of the position. So Zobrist had to put the first baseman mitt on, and Rizzo had to put a left-handed fielder's glove on to play second. Joe Madden left his tricks. Clint Hurdle, manager, said, wait a minute, now they shift positions. You have to have the proper glove. And of course, the first baseman has a different glove. But I never heard that. But I guess only with Joe Madden would we hear about something like that.
I think we're going to hear a lot more.
Yeah, I do too.
The Cubs are the favorites to win the World Series. Now that doesn't always mean a lot, but 101 wins coming into today. A little bit inside, 2-2.
But any of the 10 teams starting to play next Tuesday, anything can happen.
No,
anything can happen. No matter how many you win between 1st of April, the 1st of October being Sunday, does not matter. In case the Tigers, they got rained out today, right?
They did.
They're going to have to play Monday. That's what I heard.
It's possible if the game needs to be played. It's raining hard in Detroit.
Oh, they've had some horrible flooding in Michigan, so I hope everybody there is okay. So from 0-2 to 3-2. Let's see. He can go slider down and in. 2-seamer coming back. Going outside.
Brakeman has it. Doesn't have it. And Seager's aboard. That's a base hit, and you know what? It should be a hit. That is a very difficult play. Running full speed, then you have to reach down to try to pick it up quickly. So it goes as a hit.
It was almost to try to tag him right there, but then Seager was past him, and he knew once he got past him that he had to hurry, try to pick up the ball. And looked up just enough and could not get it, and he's upset.
Has not made an error. Most chances of any pitcher in the American League without an error. Interesting note. He moves around pretty well. A bit like Sonny Gray out there.
It's almost like he wanted to be able to step off the mound and take a breath. Kind of took a deep breath, looked up the scoreboard.
Here's Adam Lind, who lined out to the shortstop. Lind hit a line drive right up the middle. Semien playing there with the shift on. He grabbed it. So 2-0. Lind, the kind of guy, but he'll sit on a pitch on 2-0. If he gets it, he will not get cheated.
Especially inside. Not a good place to try to pitch him when he is looking. And they are going to go inside. It's going to be a breaking ball.
And he took it. So 3-0. Seager, the runner at first. Alonso holding him on. Lynn taking all the way, and it's a strike. Line drive, center field. Eibner will play it on a hop.
Kendall Graveman, the last two batters 0-2 to 3-2. The infield hit 3-0 to 3-1, and at that time Lynn thinking that he's not going to give me a pitch to hit out to right field, so I'll take it up the middle over the shift.
So RBI opportunity for Leonis Martin. Struck out looking in his first at bat. So Seager at second, Lind at first.
It's amazing. A very easy ground ball to first, ground ball to short, and now you're fighting to try to get out of an inning, making it very stressful considering it could have been a very easy inning.
Hit hard, base hit. And the Mariners are going to take the lead as Seager hustles around third. He'll come in to score. Martin trying for second. Now he's going to be in a rundown. Keep an eye on Lind. Lind's going to come home, but they called him safe at first, and Lind is then tagged out at home. So it will be a signal and an RBI. And the Mariners will take a 1-0 lead after 4. And kind of crazy how the inning ended.
Well, it should never have ended. Martin gets the base hit. He should have been satisfied with that. Valencia is just going to get the ball back in, threw it to the cutoff man, and all of a sudden going to second is Martin, back to first base, and there he was missed. And then all of a sudden going home is Lynn, tagged out easily by Stephen Vogt. And Manny Acta said, hold on, hold on, hold on. And and he just went and stopped and then took off again and out by plenty. And maybe looking back at Martin and said, what are you doing trying to go to second?
Yeah, that's where the mistake was made. I don't really blame Lynn, but I have no idea why Martin would try for second. I mean, sometimes you do that to try to get the ball cut off and make sure the guy scores, but the runner Seager was going to score no matter what. I mean, that was not even really an issue. Lind is going to have just enough room to make the catch. Valencia is retired.
Well, that put out, if you're scoring, went 9-3-6-3-2.
9-3-6-3-2.
And the fans leaning over it and realizing, wait a minute, that's our guy. Let's see if he can make the play, which he did. Ball was to the playing side of the foul or the side rail. But you have to give away and let the player make the play regardless who it is.
Here's Eibner. At the knees for a strike.
But those are the kind of innings that usually happen when nothing's going on and all of a sudden,
boom, boom, boom.
Yep, little infield hit, another base hit, another base hit. And fortunately, Martin ran the Mariners out of the inning.
Toward right, playable for Seth Smith. And Smith has it, 2 outs.
Fans, you can join Dallas Braden along with some of your favorite A's players from the past at the 2017 Oakland Athletics Fantasy Camp, held from January the 13th to the 19th at the A's new spring training facility, Mesa, Arizona. Spend a memorable week of baseball alongside legends like Campy Campaneris, Mike Moore, Shooty Babbitt, Dave Stewart, many, many more. Play baseball every day like a pro, and you can get the scoop on what it's like to be in big leagues. For more details, go to HendersonBaseball.com or call 509-993-7338. Henderson Baseball right here from Seattle, where Hindu liked the business so much as the fantasy camp he bought the business. So that is still Henderson Baseball.
2-0 to Yonder Alonso. Is called a strike on the outside corner.
Unfortunately, the A's are up to their old ways again of not hitting. Just the one hit in the second inning. That was a Valencia double, but nothing since. Not even a base runner.
And that one's hit deep to right center field. Hit a ton, and it is off the wall and bounces up into the seats. So Yonder Alonso with a double.
Some balls have been hit very hard but have gone nowhere. It's unbelievable. Valencia's ball hit hard. Alonso backed him up with another double. Great swing, right center. See where Seth Smith at right field's playing, yet he still could not get to the ball. Hit the warning track and into the seats for ground rule double.
So now the A's a chance to tie it with Smolinski. Smolinski steps out. Jake popped out to the third baseman in his first at bat. That was in the third inning. All territory. Zunino. To Smolinski. Best arm in the outfield is Leonis Martin.
Yep.
This one down the right field line and foul. So 0-2.
And just looking at Aoki in left field, even though it's a right-handed hitter, and Jake Smolinski has some power, but still playing very shallow is Aoki in left field. Where he is playing in left field now, moving a little bit more towards left center with a couple of strikes on Smolinski. And that makes it tough on Ron Washington, the third base coach. If it's a ground ball through the infield, should be able to get a run easily, but a line drive a little bit more difficult.
Foul straight back. Got in on him a little bit. Well, pitch number 70 coming up for Ariel Miranda. Did he lay off? No. James Hoy said you went around, and that's a big strikeout for Miranda, his 6th, and the A's strand a runner at second. By Coors, the banquet beer. Ray, you'll like this one. On this date in 1968, Charlie Finley fires A's manager Bob Kennedy on the last day of the season. The A's owner, who had dismissed 8 skippers in 8 years, rehires Hank Bauer, who guided the team to 9th place finishes in 1961 and 62. That's when they were in Kansas City.
Yeah, boy, Charlie.
I didn't know, Charlie. You did. But why doesn't that surprise me?
Yeah. All Charlie knew how to do was win. Get players and win.
So Zunino to lead things off, followed by Marte and Aoki. Popped up. Stephen Vogt coming back. That wild card race, big win tonight for the Baltimore Orioles. They shut out the Blue Jays in Toronto 4-0. So the Orioles go into Toronto and take 2 out of 3, and that is big. So the Orioles and the Blue Jays are now tied for the 2 wild card spots. That's where the Mariners come in. The Mariners right now are 2.5 back. Tigers 1.5 back. And as Ray mentioned, the Tigers were rained out today at home against the Indians, and it was dumping. Listen, they tried everything. Remember, they only played 5 innings last night because of rain. So for the Tigers, they will go to Atlanta to play the Braves this weekend, with the possibility of having to play that game on Monday. And it's really simple, Ray. If they're a half game up anywhere or a half game back anywhere, they're going to have to play on Monday. And it's possible.
And if it becomes a tie, then they're going to have to back up the wild card because they have to play on Tuesday against somebody.
So we'll see how it all shakes out. These things always work its way out.
But for the Braves, that's their final 3 games in their current stadium, because aren't they supposed to move into the new one next year?
Yep.
So they're going to have their brand new stadium, and so the final 3 in Atlanta.
So interesting And they waited a long time. Listen, Smolinski dives and he cannot get it. So Zunino is going to have a hit. Leadoff single here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Oh boy. At the 3-2 again after getting ahead of him, and fortunately Smolinski got his glove on the ball as he made the diving effort. That ball gets by him. Zunino's got a couple at least. And coming over from center field is Eibner trying to back him up.
Marte, who takes low. Houston Astros, who are just about officially eliminated. They're off today. They'll be in Anaheim this weekend. And the Mariners, they got to win. Cannot afford a loss. A little bit low. In the National League wild card, the Mets have the day off. The Mets will finish at Philadelphia. The Cardinals won today at home to the Reds. So those two teams split their 4-game series, and Cardinals will stay home and they will play the Pirates. Giants are playing right now, losing to the Rockies. So that has a chance to get even tighter. So the Mets in Philadelphia, the Cardinals home to the Pirates, and the Giants will have the Dodgers. Giants are going to have to face Rich Hill and Clayton Kershaw on Friday night and Saturday, so that will not be easy.
Yeah, because for the Dodgers, as the division winners, they do not play them until the following Friday.
They would play on Friday.
Friday, wow. So they've got to
pitch those guys,
yeah.
and you should pitch them anyway.
Yeah.
Shallow, Simeon out. Simeon.
Fans, this season, Ross and CSN California teamed up to give 1st through 8th grade students the chance to earn 2 free tickets to a game with the A's Mathletics Workbook program, which engaged students to solve baseball-related equations. For more information on this unique educational program, you can visit athletics.com/mathletics.
So with 1 out, here's Nori Aoki. Aoki. Oh. I guess there's some crazy scenario. Speaking of that Tigers game, Ray, and everybody likes to figure out these scenarios. With the Tigers finishing in Atlanta, they could play, I believe it's in 4 different cities in 4 different days. Yeah. Now, who did that? Wasn't it the Rays did it a couple years ago?
Yeah. Yes, they did.
And I think it was finished on the road, and then they had to break the second wild card tiebreaker.
They had to go to Chicago, remember that, to play the White Sox.
And then they went to Cleveland for the wild card game, and they won. And then they opened up the division series. So it's been done. In the air to center. And Eibner grabs it. So Aoki 1 for 3. Aoki looking back, seeing where the pitch was, and what he's seeing is probably a little high.
Daniel Mingda, just looking back, that Aoki hit the big home run against him, the solo home run at the Coliseum that turned out to be big because the A's lost that game with Iwakuma pitching 3-2. So Aoki tried to bunt with 2 strikes, then dumped a base hit in left field, and maybe thought he should have hit the last one a little bit farther than he did.
And here's Seth Smith, who has struck out and lined out.
Seth Smith has made a name for himself in Seattle, Colorado, to the A's, down to San Diego, and kind of a platoon situation here in Seattle.
Seth Smith has a contract that has a club option for next year. This is his second year in Seattle. 2 with the A's, and then San Diego, and then here in Seattle. A valuable player, I think. Let's see, well, let's say he's going to be 34 years old on September 30.
It's tomorrow.
Is that tomorrow?
He's a baby.
Happy birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, happy early birthday. If Alcantara pitching, probably will be playing on his birthday. In fact, the A's only lefty in the series will be Sunday with Sean Manaea.
So pretty high pitch count for Kendall Graveman. He's at 90. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. And now full count. So 3-2, 2 outs, and Zunino will take off. Alonso, as all first basemen do, they let the pitcher know that be playing behind him. Runner goes, 3-2 pitch. Inside corner, strike 3 call. 6th strikeout for Kendall Graveman, and we are on to the 6th inning. 1-0 Mariners lead the A's. Coming off their amazing run at the Stanley Cup, the Western Conference champion Sharks will soon be back on the ice. In fact, it'll be October 15th. They'll be back on CSN California. The home of the authentic Sharks fan is CSN California. Team Teal getting ready.
Win it all this year, right?
Yeah, it's time.
I think it's time that they do win it all.
Got as close as you could last year. Lost to the Pittsburgh Penguins. A's trailing 1-0, top of the 6th inning. They have had a tough time getting anything going against Ariel Miranda. Miranda is so far 5 good innings, just 2 hits, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. So we have been impressed. Our first look at the 27-year-old left-hander. High in left field. Aoki's back. And that baby's gone. Chad Pender has his first big league home run. And it ties up the game at 1. Who said they can't get to Miranda?
Yeah, let's hope they can get into the A's bullpen so they've got the baseball. I think that might be where it landed. First major league home run and a little clap. He got it. And not only that, but ties the game. Chad Pender, first major league home run. He gets the sunflower seed bath on a high fives. Congratulations. That's outstanding.
Got a lot of firsts this year.
Yeah. That's a first. That's a big one there.
Love that. Line drive to right field.
Yeah, for Chad Pender, he got it. Maybe an off-speed pitch. Looked like he just kind of guided it in. And Chad Pender said, I'll provide my own power. And good swing. He's checking the height of the ball and the fence. There's your A's bullpen. Got it. That's a good swing. No stride by Pender, and a lot of promise for the young man. And that's a very nice swing.
14 home runs in AAA this year, so he's got some power.
Stoudemire Jr., the pitching coach for the Mariners, and let's think about his father. Great one, Mel Stoudemire.
And his brother.
Yeah.
Pitched for the A's just for 1 year, right?
Todd, yeah, exactly.
So here's Stephen Vogt. Home run and a single to open up the 6th inning. Fastball for a strike. Stephen Vogt has lined out and he has grounded out. Action now in the bullpen. Drew Storm. Well, we were just telling you how well Miranda was throwing.
And he has been. He really has done a good job. Just the
Got
two
good
doubles.
stuff.
2 doubles in the first 5 innings. The only 2 hits for the Valencia 1-out double, and then the Yonder Alonso 2-out double. And following the double to Valencia, got a strikeout and a pop up to short. The strikeout following Alonso's, and so now the A's get a leadoff home run by Pender, his first, and a great base hit to right field by Marcus Semien. And like he told us and has told us before, that the more hits he can get to right field, especially with the shifts being played against him, he'll take them. Showing Kendall Graveman, must have been upstairs and wanted to show him where he hit his first major league home run to tie the game.
2-1 now. So 2-1 to count. Semien. Decently. This one's popped up. Could be a play. Seager just on the front. So Stephen Vogt fouls out.
It's going to be it.
Scott Service is going to the bullpen. 78 pitches for Miranda. And he's going to leave with 1 out here in the 6th inning. So Ariel Miranda, our first look at the young left-hander. He was good, but he's going to leave with this game tied 1 apiece. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
2017 season ticket memberships are on sale right now. Whether you want to renew your membership or join the party, visit athletics.com/2017. Find all the benefits that A's membership has to offer, including early bird incentives, exclusive experiences, half-price parking, flexible ticket exchange program, and more. You can even lock in your 2017 seating location. Visit athletics.com/2017. Join the party today.
Ariel Miranda ends up 5 1/3, leaves with runner at first, 1 out. 78 pitches. And now it's Drew Storen's turn. The right-hander comes in to face Healy.
Everybody's taking it hard. He's up a solo home run and thinking he could walk off after 6 and maybe have a lead. Now he's got a couple of hits, score a run. He could be the losing pitcher.
Storen, first pitch, strike. Combined numbers for Storen between the Mariners and the Jays, 4 and 3, 5.33. Came over in a trade on the 26th of July for Joaquin Benoit. So Benoit went to the Blue Jays. Benoit has pitched well for the Blue Jays. He's hurt now. And Storen's numbers with the Mariners are better than they were with the Blue Jays. He's 3-0 with a 3.64 ERA with Seattle.
He had to feel at home, though, when the Blue Jays played here, and they had all those Canadian people coming to watch the Blue Jays play in Seattle.
Folks here said that the place was full of Blue Jays fans.
Close your eyes and hear the reaction. All the Mariners doing something. Nope. It's the Blue Jays.
0-2. On the outside corner, Healy knew it. So Storen strikes out Healy, so he's 0 for 3.
Well, if there's ever one thing you think as a hitter, you don't want to think with 2 strikes, and especially get a fastball down the middle. You don't think that he's going to waste a pitch. You don't think he's going to throw something else. You just think fastball, make an adjustment, and Ryan Healy had a pretty good pitch to hit, but couldn't swing.
Chris Davis will hit. So I got a question for you, Ray. Have you ever seen Adam Lind and Scott Hatteberg at the same time? I'm just saying. See, Hatteberg is here at the game. We saw him, but now we haven't seen him since game time. Okay, it's not that close, but they do look alike.
But Scotty threw right-handed too. That would have been quite a story for Hattie to throw left-handed. But you're right. Cut off that thing hanging down on his chin. You might be able to put them side by side.
So it's good to see Scott Hatteberg, who hanging around before the game. He lives nearby.
Working on the baseball side, baseball operations for the A's.
Chris Davis, a couple of strikeouts tonight, trying to change that. Simeon took off, stopped, and then the ball is hit up the third base line, and he is retired. So Chris Davis 0 for 3. But the A's do tie it on Chad Pender's first big league home run. Here it is. So bottom of the 6th coming up. It is now a 1-1 game.
the #1 live streaming sports service. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to AdVet Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Always a great time of the year. Starting next Tuesday, the postseason begins, the new season, after 162 games, which will end on Sunday, at least for most clubs. We mentioned the Tigers have a game to make up. See if it means something. If it does, it'll be Monday. And it'll be at Comerica Park, right? I guess where they got rained out.
Yeah, they were playing in Detroit. Kendall Graveman now, a 1-1 game. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts so far. Going right into the heart of this order. So 1-1 the count to Robinson Cano. Cano out in front. Kendall Graveman, his first 9 starts, a 5.36 ERA. And he settled in nicely, won 9 in 2 of his next 16 starts. Struggling a little bit closing the season out. We mentioned earlier his last win was August 24th.
Of course, in the middle of that, I had a nice conversation with the Hall of Famer Greg Maddux about style of pitching. And basically, you're looking at a guy who can move the ball around like the Hall of Famer.
We saw in that graphic first 9 starts. Well, the 9th start in that first 9 was here in Seattle on May 24th, and he struggled some, and after that start he started to turn it around.
Underneath, Steven got it again.
Robinson Cano goes for a long walk, gives his fellow all-star a little break.
He can't walk far enough.
That's probably true.
After that shot.
And Hendrick starts to throw. I don't know if it's just as simple as Kendall Graveman just using his fastball more. It seems like that is it. It's played by Alonso. Throws to Graveman covering, and Cano is retired. I'm sure there's a little bit more to it, but last season, this season, this is fastball usage. Just simply, how often does he throw it? About 5% more this year, and then breaking it down this season. Since the All-Star break, 83%. That's closing in on Bartolo Colon-like.
Well, it's worked out so well for him because, you know, when we were here in Seattle at the beginning of the season, I remember talking to him, he says, I got to figure out my release point for my sinker, and, you know, it took a while, as those numbers in the first half indicated, but and he's been getting the ground ball outs. He's been getting the job done with economical number of pitches. He knows that he goes through a lineup like he is tonight with Mariners, and making start number 31, the number of innings he's pitched, which is going to increase in time. And anytime you face a team in the Western Division, the Mariners, you see them so many times because you're in the same division. You've got to have some good numbers against them.
Well, this is the 5th time he's faced the Mariners, and obviously they play 6 series every year, so he's only missed 1 series. Cruz chased it. High pitch, 2-2 the count.
Nelly Cruz looking fastball, expanded the strike zone to the point it was up and in. He's got such a powerful swing, short swing in most cases.
Reaches for that one, pokes it to the right side. Pender throws, not in time.
Yeah, I'd check that one too.
So Cruz hustling down to first.
Pender couldn't get the ball out of his glove as he ranged to his left, but you're right, Cruz can run.
Yeah, he has decent speed for a big guy who's not in his 20s anymore.
Well, Pender right here. If he gets the glove all out cleanly, maybe it makes it closer. And
he was safe.
Yep. And that's why Bob Melvin, I think, is going to continue. But long strides by Nelson Cruz. Smelled the hit, jumped at the bag, got the foot down before the ball was in the glove. He took a ball off the ground and slapped it to the right side.
So here's Seager. Seager, 30 homers, 99 RBIs. And he was trying to get over the 100 RBI mark.
I have to wonder, the Seager family at Thanksgiving, who's going to have the bragging rights.
Oh.
Brother playing for the Dodgers shortstop, and I'm expected to be the rookie of the year. And Kyle, he's the everyday third baseman, Gold Glove winner.
Right field. Valencia on the warning track. He's got it for the second out. So 2 outs. Speaking of rookie of the year, now Bob Melvin's coming out with Walt Horn. Check on Graydon.
If you go back to the play he tried to make on Seager in the 4th inning. Okay. Walt says, shrugs his shoulders. It's okay, Skip. Let's let him go.
Not yet. Hold on, Liam.
Now, usually when the trainer goes out with a manager, that's not really an indication that he's going to make a pitching change. I don't think Walt's going to be the interpreter for the skipper.
I don't think so. But I started to say tomorrow night, Joe Stiglich, our A's insider, is going to join us in the booth for a couple innings. Talk about a bunch of different things with Joe. We're going to go over our award selections, Ray. So got to come up with yours. I've got mine already.
You going to tell me yours?
I'm not going to tell you.
Well, I thought maybe we could be the same.
You can do Karnak tomorrow and hold the envelope up to your forehead. So we'll talk about MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, Manager of the Year in both leagues. And we're going to do that with Joe. He's going to kick his ideas around. Ours are going to be official, onographic. People can make fun of us for our choices.
So I got a lot of homework to do between now and tomorrow night's game. Huh?
Joe this year has a Cy Young Award vote.
Oh, really?
So he can't really give us his.
Sure he can.
His pick.
We could help him. We could help him.
We'll push him one way. So it's always fun, something to do with our A's insider. But lots of good questions surrounding those 4 categories in each league. So you got 8 choices to make. Has got a base hit right center field. Cruz is going to round second, and Cruz is going to go to third. So Adam Lind is 2 for 3. And now you got first and third, 2 outs, and Leonis Martin coming up.
Boy, the same situation head in the 4th. Bob Melvin's not going to have Kendall Graveman pitch to Martin again. As well, technically, this is just his first appearance. He's already made the call? Okay.
So Kendall Graveman, 108 pitches, and unfortunately, he will not get that 11th win tonight, but he pitched well here in Seattle. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts. Hey, we got in-depth Raiders coverage every single night and the home of the official post-game show of the team. Sunday to Sunday, the home of the authentic Raiders fan is CSN. Well, the Raiders on the East Coast on Sunday, they will be at Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Kendall Graveman, 5 2/3 tonight. And that will be the final start for him this 2016 season. And he'll finish the season as a 10-game winner. So first and third, 2 outs. Hendricks to face Leonis Martin. Martin has an RBI hit in this game. That was in the 4th. A big moment. Cannot catch up.
I think this is where the skipper Bob Melvin with Kendall Graveman over 100 pitches and bring a fresh arm in out of the bullpen, and an elevated fastball by Liam Hendricks. If he throws nothing but the fastball, it's difficult to catch up to, and hopes he can do the same, maybe go upstairs again too.
Yeah, he did. Inherited runner stranded. Hendricks has done a very good job. He's really turned his season around. Did not have a good start, but really about 3 months now he's been pretty darn good. Two pitch, foul straight back. Toward left center, Eibner, Smolinski, and Smolinski will make the catch. Side retired. Mariners strand a pair. 7th inning coming up. It'll be Valencia, Eibner, and Alonso. It's a 1-1 game. True story brought to you by McDonald's. On this date in 2012, with their backs against the wall to make the postseason, Josh Donaldson 2-run homer against the Mariners closer than Tom Wilhelmsen. That was in the bottom of the 9th inning. It tied the game at 4. Then in the 10th, Brandon Moss finished it off. He's won that game 7-4. A's would win their last 6 games of the season and capture the AL West. That was 2012. So that was quite a finish.
You know,
I had a sore throat for 3 weeks after this.
You know, talk about the success against the Rangers, but they had to beat the Mariners too.
Yeah, it was the Mariners Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the Rangers came in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because the regular season ended on a Wednesday.
Exactly.
It was a little strained.
Yeah.
So that was a fun year. It was one of those seasons where, well, when the season started, you didn't know if the A's were going to be any good or not.
No.
And they played fairly well, and you started to think, maybe, but I mean, listen, I'll be the first to admit, I mean, I say I was skeptical, but I wanted to see more. And then they just kept playing well, and Seth Smith was a big part of that. But then remember, they swept the Yankees in a 4-game series, and that's when I think you and I kind of looked at each other and went, something's good here. Kept on rolling. Dan Altavella comes in. Good numbers. 0.82 ERA, small sample size, his 14th. And that one was dropped into right field, and that's a hit for Danny Valencia. Valencia with a single and a double.
Just slapped the ball to right field from the right-hander and ball inside. Valencia going to the right side as Simeon did last inning. That's the one thing I remember about that season more than anything is down the stretch, especially those important games, how much Ryan Cook, Sean Doolittle, and Grant Balfour just kept pitching every day. I mean, there was nothing about 2 games in a row and all that rest. He said, no, just keep pitching. And they wanted to close it out, and they did.
So 1-0 to Brett Eibner. He's have the go-ahead run on. Steve Cishek starts to throw. Top of the 7th inning. Valencia with a pretty short lead at first. Eibner has struck out looking and hit a fly ball to right field. In the hole, Marte throws to second, got him. Valencia thought he was safe. It was a sensational play by Ketel Marte. He slid, picked it, and then fired to second.
And the only play he was going to have, and shouldn't really been close there, because the ball hit in the hole and the feet first slide. That's the key. See if Valencia gets in with the foot. His foot's on the bag there. He's safe. They're not going to take it.
So what a play by the shortstop, Marte. Wow. That was a terrific play. Man, oh man. Valencia, I mean, he slid straight in, which is obviously the quickest way in. Got to give that one to Marte. Here's Yonder Alonso. Tavella, the new pitcher, was called up on the 27th of August. He was called up from Double-A. He's having a very fine season in Double-A. Right field, and that's going to be a base hit. Eibner, who runs well, is going to hustle around to third, and now the A's have first and third and 1 out.
That's how big Marte's play was to get Valencia second. Otherwise, it's an RBI hit. Valencia is out, but Alonso comes through with a broken bat base hit to right field. He'll take it, and there is the speed of Eibner going to third base. Check it, but to play it second, check the left foot.
He was out.
Yes, he was out.
Wow. Very close. So Scott Service is headed to the mound, and he's going to make a pitching change. So
and the A's made a change with Max Muncy, and that's the reason probably the lefty's coming in.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So that's going to be your pinch hitter. Max Muncy is going to hit for Smolinski. Go ahead run at third with 1 out. So this is a huge at bat for the Athletics. And Muncy's going to face Cishek.
The only thing you could think right here is that Scott Service wants a ground ball, try to get a double play, which the Mariners will play back. For Max Muncy, they're going to play him to pull, and big hole on the left side.
First pitch to Muncy. Slider first strike, a little bit of a high slider. So Eibner at third, Alonso at first, 1 out. Outfield shifted toward left center for Muncy. And he grounds it to second. And that's going to be a double play. 4-6-3 double play. A's do not score. We have reached the 7th inning stretch time, and it's a 1-1 game.
Graveman, start number 31, his final of this 2016 season. A good outing. Aoki with a bunt attempt for 2 strikes. Strike out there, strike out there. He would strike out the side. First inning. Kendall Graveman, a good punch out there, but had the sinker working very well. More strikeouts tonight than he got ground ball outs, but did a great job for 5 2/3. He would leave with runners at first and third. Got final out by Liam Hendricks. So no decision for Kendall Graveman in his final start of the season.
So the A's had a good opportunity top of the 7th, but could not score. So Hendricks back out there. Bottom of the 7th, Zunino, Marte, and Aoki. First pitch, popped up foul. So Max Muncy stays in the game in left field. And the new second baseman is Joey Wendell. Alonso, maybe. Oh, he reached in there. He went in. Just could not come up with it. Making sure everybody's okay. He bumped into that lady a little bit in the first row. Made sure she was okay. You got to be ready in that first row. Anything can happen.
Left arm of the guy in blue, and then on top of the lady.
This one well foul.
They're trying to move with it, and ball just kept tailing, and then poor lady.
He's a gentleman. He made sure she was okay. The 1-2 now to Zunino, who has struck out and singled. And the Mariners know they absolutely have to win their season line. Doolittle starts to throw for the A's. Left field, and that one is deep, and that's not coming back. Home run number 12 from Zunino, and the Mariners take a 2-1 lead.
On the fastball, and he kept throwing the sliders away, came back with the fastball, belt high, and Mike Zunino, whatever he did at AAA, he learned a lot because he's hit some big home runs against the A's. Beat him in Oakland, and unless the A's come back, he's going to beat them tonight with this one. This is a no-doubter. Close to going to the second deck.
And that's going to be a base hit. Marte, drag bunt attempt. He popped it right over Hendricks' head. So that'll work, and that's going to be a bunt single.
Well, the bunt is trying to drag it. He did it over the head, and that's the key because Wendell did not have a chance, especially with the speed of Marte down the line. So the play he made defensively is huge, and this bunt also, following the home run, is big.
So 8th bunt hit for Tal Marte, and Bob Melvin's coming out. So Liam Hendricks is done, gives up the home run to Mike Zunino. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair. Live on CSNCalifornia.com. Log on each week as our insider Joe Stiglitz talks baseball with players, coaches, special guests, and more. This week, Joe's guest is that young man right there, Joey Wendell. A's Insider Podcast with Joe Stiglitz. It's on CSNCalifornia.com, sponsored by Max Muscle Sports Nutrition. You can also catch it on iTunes. And again, Joe Stiglitz will join us tomorrow night in the booth for a couple of innings. And we'll talk A's baseball with Joe. So, Sean Doolittle's got to get the A's back in the dugout. Zunino home run has given the Mariners a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Aoki, Smith, Cano. So 3 straight left-handed hitters, and that is one of the reasons Doolittle's in the game. Bunted, and Doolittle can't get it. Rolls past him, and everybody's safe.
Well, it's not that he couldn't get it, Keif. I think it's more miscommunication. He started after it, so did Alonso. They both stopped, and the ball right between them. And it's got to be a base hit. Then you got to have communication. Aoki almost got hit, got the bunt down, and both go after it. And I think for Doolittle, he started, and maybe more so on him, because as he went after it, maybe seeing Alonso coming in, kind of hesitated, but Alonso stopped.
Yeah, sometimes you just see out of the corner of your eye, you see the guy coming, and maybe he seems closer than he really is. So a pair of bunt singles after the home run. How about that? So now you have first and second, nobody out. And this is Franklin Gutierrez hitting for Seth Smith. And you wonder if he'll be bunting here.
That's a good point. Should be probably, but on the other hand, may not be.
He's not. And the first pitch is a fastball on the inside. So Gutierrez hitting for Smith. Gutierrez has 14 home runs. He's done that in 242 at-bats. Guy looks familiar.
Scott Brocious.
So you talking to him before the game, Scott Brocious, who is the AAA manager for the Seattle Mariners, AAA Tacoma. Hitting coach, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Pat Listach is their manager, former Rookie of the Year, but Scott Brocious with the Athletics, 91-97, and talk about good times for him. He goes to the Yankees and 3-time world champion, and almost the 4th.
2 pitches high.
Yeah, the left brings up a good point. It might have been Scott Brocious helped Zunino because he started at AAA this year, and Scott Brocious, an excellent hitter. And of course, it was a 2001 World Championship after the unfortunate 9/11. I think everybody in the world thought the Yankees were going to win. And Brocious said for the first time probably in the history of baseball, people were actually rooting for the Yankees. But it was the Diamondbacks who had a miraculous comeback, and of course the Yankees kept winning in New York against, was it Min Young Kim, the reliever?
That's right.
Tino Martinez. He had a walk-off, and Scott Brocious tied it, and it was just a great series.
It was one of the more dramatic World Series as far as late game heroics, and then it ended on late game heroics.
Yeah, the A's actually went in following 9/11 and played in New York, lost, and the A's were up and lost in New York, and just one of those things that. And Scott said when they finished in Arizona, he said he ate dinner following the final game. And he said he could not taste a thing. He said that just that feeling of how'd they lose. They had the game won, and then ended up losing.
Gutierrez chases the high fastball. So 1 away, and here's Robinson Cano.
Well, the high fastball, one of the specialties for Sean Doolittle, to go upstairs to Gutierrez. And he got him swinging, and Stephen Vogt might have hit the home plate umpire as he went up to catch the ball. I remember when Brocious went to New York and all the Yankees had their aliases. Scott didn't. They said, Scott, you got to get your alias. I don't need an alias. Nobody's going to call me. Said the first road trip from midnight to 2 a.m. He got 14 calls. Calls at 6 in the morning, and he said they just go up and down the list trying to call and see who would pick it up. Everybody had an alias.
That's crazy.
And he immediately went to an alias. Said, got to do it. McMinnville, Oregon is where he still lives.
Thought that was his alias.
It might have been.
I was waiting for you to give me his alias.
McMinnville. Yeah, that would work. He was a good guy. Great third baseman for the A's and magical seasons with the Yankees, world champions.
Cano hits one high in the air to right field. Valencia's back. Now settling underneath it. He's got it. Marte tags up, hustles over to third for a second out. So Cano just missed that one.
I saw Seager hit a ball that almost went out. Got under a little bit too much, and same with Robinson Cano.
So here's Nelson Cruz. He's never had a hit against Doolittle.
And those are the numbers that keep him in Doolittle in the game right now.
Marte at third, Aoki at first. First pitch to Cruz. Hit toward right. Into the corner goes Valencia, and he's going to have room, and he makes the catch. So a single run by the Mariners on the Zunino home run. 8th inning coming up. Seattle 2, the A's 1. Top of the 8th inning. Well, the A's will have to try to come back. Cishek stays out there. A couple of changes. Guillermo Heredia is now the left fielder, and Ben Gamel is now the right fielder. And the Mariners go with the defense. So Joey Wendell hitting for the first time. He's came into the game for Pender. Pender, he hit his first big league home run tonight. That was in the 6th inning. That one's hit to right. Gamble back there, and he's got it. Wendell hit that ball pretty good. Gamble was able to get back, reach up, and make the catch.
He just kind of flipped it, unfortunately, not enough to get it over the head of the speedy right fielder.
Well, back to the top of the order, Marcus Semien. Cishek slider, which is what he is known for. Throwing a lot to right-handed hitters.
Yeah, Semien keeps looking at third base, see where Seager is positioned, and
that one just off the end of the bat a little bit. Ready is there, and he's got it. You could just tell he did not quite get it square. So with 2 outs, here's Stephen Vogt. It's Edwin Diaz, the closer. First pitch to Vogt is just a touch low. And that's Ryan Matson for the Athletics. Stephen Vogt looking for his first hit. A's have 6 hits in the game. The Mariners have 10. There has not been an error made in the game.
It's got to be a little distracting. Stephen Vogt standing at the plate, and all of a sudden Marte starts running and right from shortstop over to this first base side of second.
Yeah, and I don't think he did it on purpose, although who knows, maybe didn't seem like it.
But it was kind of a late shift where he's positioned now with Cano in the outfield. But after the second pitch out of the strike zone, he went hustling over about the same time Cishek was pitching.
Vogt's getting some pretty good rips on Cishek. Watch this.
He's going to say, well, let's go.
Now, if he did it right now.
Yeah, that's he actually, that's a good shot because it looked like it's about the same time, but Cishek had not thrown the ball yet.
Got him swinging. Cishek has a good inning. A's go quietly in the top of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Mariners 2, A's 1.
A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 1-6-0 for the A's, 2-10-0 for the Mariners. Kendall Graveman went into the 6th inning, pitched well. So did Ariel Miranda, the rookie left-hander. First career home run for Chad Pender. Mike Zunino hit a home run for the Mariners. That was in the bottom of the 7th inning. That's the key run in the game so far. That gave the Mariners the lead. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts. Ryan Madson comes in. I had to double check, Ray, because it says Ryan Madson last pitched on September 19th. That was last Monday. Yeah. Last Monday. Right. So that's 10 days. I was surprised by that.
Well, you look at what has happened since then, it's not really been much to
no, that's true.
Think about trying to win.
Not too many losses in that stretch. Seager pops it into left center, and Eibner comes in to make the catch. So 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
First baseman Anaheim.
Sean Doolittle ends up going an inning, gives up a hit. No runs, no walks, 1 strikeout.
He is going to get back up. He had sat down momentarily, but he's back up.
Adam Lind takes high. Lind has lined out, and then he has singled twice. Madsen missed again. Adam Lind will be a free agent after this season. In the air toward the left field line. Muncy hustling over, and Muncy makes the catch in foul territory. He had a long run. So 2 outs. Make sure you join us tomorrow. It'll be game 2 of this 4-game series. A's and the Mariners. Raul Alcantara and Taiwan Walker is your pitching matchup. It'll be A's pregame live at 6:30, and then the ball game at first pitch scheduled for right around 7:10. Remember, after the game. And every night you get A's coverage on Sportsnet Central and CSNCalifornia.com. So Raul Alcantara will get his final start. Saturday's game will start at 6:10, hour earlier than tonight and tomorrow night. And then on Sunday it'll be 12 o'clock. After 12. Mariners are hoping that Sunday will mean something to them. They have to sit back and hope teams lose, and that is always tough to do because you don't have control over that.
Yeah, that's
a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, they're thinking the same way back in Baltimore, Toronto. The Blue Jays definitely have to start thinking about what's going on now.
Right field, and that would be a base hit. Well, Leonis Martin is 2 for 4.
I thought maybe his play, really not a very good play, rounding first, trying to go to second in 4th inning when he was in the rundown and then was out at the plate. And then the A's tied it, but they've since taken the lead. So Martin with his 2nd hit. He's had a good season for the Mariners after being traded from the Rangers.
So here's Zunino. So this weekend, the Toronto Blue Jays, as Ray said, they're starting to look up and see teams moving on them a little bit. Well, they're going to be in Boston. So they will finish the regular season at Fenway Park. The Baltimore Orioles will finish the season at Yankee Stadium. So that's not easy, either of those teams. The Tigers will be in Atlanta.
I think the Blue Jays have to deal with Fenway Park is the retirement. The final weekend, David Ortiz, regular season anyway. Yeah, postseason.
So it'll be all eyes, at least all Mariner eyes, will be on the East Coast.
Bob Melvin would love nothing better than for his team to have a big say in the Mariners, been in the own division, and you like to say, well, you'd like to see teams in your division, but not when you're playing against them and you have a chance to be the spoiler. Only chance the A's have to have any sort of a season, finishing it out.
1-2 now to Zunino. This is what Zunino did last inning, and it was the big blow.
Well, he got Raul Alcantara a 2-run shot in Oakland. And of course, a game in which the Mariners won 3-2. So big home run there on a really 1-2 slider that didn't move, just kind of stayed in the middle of the plate. And he crushed it for a 2-run home run, and tonight really huge. We got a fastball. Didn't miss it.
Martin takes off. He's got a good lead. Not running, but the A's pitch out just to make sure. 2-2. Ninth inning, it'll be Healy, Davis, and Valencia. So plenty of power coming up for the A's in that ninth, trailing by 1. So now the speedy Leonis Martin will take off. There he goes, and it's hit foul. Just past the A's dugout. In the dirt, and it's a walk. Zunino has been on base 3 times tonight.
Another hitter that an A's pitcher got ahead 0-2 and ended up walking him.
So 2 on 2 out. Here's Ketel Marte, the switch hitting shortstop. Marte is 1 for 3. He had a bunt single in the 7th inning. Spins Marte out of the way. Loses his balance, falls down.
You'd think that ball was at his head. It was really kind of dove in at it a little bit, and the guy's diving in. The funny thing, losing his balance, but the pitch really at the plate just happened to be head high, and then losing his balance on top of it.
Marte came up last year, did a good job for the Mariners, and he's been their everyday shortstop this year. Injuries have slowed him down a little bit this year. Grounds that one up the middle, base hit center field. Martin will come in to score, and the Mariners get a big insurance run.
The concern, of course, this pitch down the middle of the plate, and after one that seemed like it was closer than it was, this one down the middle and should have been hit the way it was. And Ryan Madsen, a lot of concern about Martin at first with 2 outs if he was going to run. And maybe he lost the concentration because he had him 0-2. And then ended up putting him on anyway.
So Ben Gamble will hit for the first time, left-handed hitter. Marte gets his 33rd RBI. So a 2-out rally has got the Mariners another run. Gamble takes down and in. Gamble was acquired from the Yankees on the 31st of August. Daniel Coulomb starts to throw. Gamble had a nice season in AAA for the Yankees before being traded. Off of Vogt's glove, and I think he just missed it. Yeah, that's probably going to be a pass ball.
Yeah, it's outside, the pitch inside. He went for it and just missed it. And it was the call, unfortunately.
So now a couple of runners in scoring position. Hits with the left, hits it pretty well. Muncy back, circling around, and he makes the catch. Side retired. So an insurance run for the Mariners. They now lead 3-1 as we head to the top of the ninth. Coming up tonight at 10:30 over on our sister station CSN Bay Area, it is Sportsnet Central. You don't want to miss it. Monty Poole all over the Warriors in their third practice. 49ers Joe Staley signs. And Ryder Cup fans, hey, check that out. It's worth it. Mindy Bach, Nate Feldman are going to host a good show tonight at 10:30 over on CSN Bay Area. So ninth inning, and the A's have one more shot. They trail 3-1.
Hey, Diaz doesn't appreciate the extra run. Oof.
Makes a big difference.
Closers love it. Get an extra run, especially Diaz. He seemed a little bit vulnerable to everybody except the A's. A's he seems to own, or at least he has.
Young man taking over the closer's role. He's 0-3, 2.61 ERA, lots and lots of strikeouts. He's got 17 saves. He's blown 3 saves. It was June 4th when the Mariners called up Edwin Diaz, and they called him up from Double-A. And really soon after that, he started closing games. Pours that one in there first time.
They fall behind. Just lay a fastball in, figuring the hitter's not going to be swinging. Healy was taking a strike, trying to get on base, at least to be in the time run of the plate.
Taps that one foul. So now the count is 2-2. And there's a base hit. May have tipped off the glove of Adam Lind. So Healy gets his first hit, and it's a single leading off the 9th inning.
Well, you have the ability to go to the opposite field the way Healy does. Bat on shoulder, good fastball, and I don't know that he would even think about trying to pull the fastball 2-2. But remember his last at bat when he took an 0-2 fastball down the middle for strike 3. And this time with a 2-strike pitch, solid hit to right field.
So here's Chris Davis. Davis, that was the one to hit. Looked like a flat little slider that didn't do much.
Hung right in the middle of the plate and just couldn't do anything except foul it back.
And that one is lined to left field, and that's going to get down for a hit. And it kicks around out there with Heredia, and going to third and going to second, and everybody's safe. So Healy to third, Davis to second, and now the A's are in business. Close play at second base.
Cano indicated he wanted to check it as he pointed back in, but no, it's a close play. Another ball hooking away, and Chris Davis had to hurry because fortunately Heredia bobbled the ball, but then threw it back into second base. And a strong throw to second.
Looked like Davis got in there.
I'll say let's check it, but did not seem to be one to check. So second, third, nobody out. Bill Stoudemire Jr. with a visit.
Remember just a couple of nights ago in Houston, Diaz allowed a couple of runs, and the Astros tied the game in the 9th inning. He got a blown save.
See Cano with home plate umpire coming out. Jeff, he winked at him. Said, "Okay, it's all right. We're ready. We're finished. We're finished talking. We go back." Well, the A's had a golden opportunity in the 7th. First and third, one out. Of course, that was also the play that Marte made in the 7th inning to get a force out at second, which turned out to be huge considering the 2 hits to follow.
So 1-0 to Valencia.
Double play ground ball as Ryan Dahl gets loose. So how big is the extra run the Mariners got in the 8th inning right now?
Always is. 2-0. Maxwell has come out into the on deck circle. That's Eibner's spot. To a pitch, slider snaps in there first time.
Well, that was a good pitcher's pitch, and really for Valencia, probably thinking fastball. I got the slider, didn't swing, but This is when you have to be patient as a hitter and just think that a productive out could really help the Athletics score a run and maybe put another run at third base where the infield would have to come in.
Valencia looking for a 3-run homer there. He pulled off. And now it's 2-2. Again, Maxwell in the on-deck circle.
I had to be thinking about another slider after the one that hung in the middle of the plate. And you figure if he threw that slider, he's going to do it again 2-1, and he did. A complete off-the-plate type slider.
And he got it. Well, Valencia chased a bad ball, and that's a big strikeout for Diaz. And I think sometimes, Ray, what it does, it gives the pitcher a little confidence.
Absolutely.
Kind of gets him back in the game.
And he missed 2 fastballs, and he came back with 3 consecutive sliders. So that is not a productive out.
So here's Bruce Maxwell, who's been swinging a hot bat for the A's. First pitch in for a strike with a fastball. Maxwell, 19 hits in his last 49 at bats. That's a .388 average. Zunino has to reach back for that one. 99 miles an hour. Alonso is the on-deck hitter.
You know, he's got a report on Bruce Maxwell. I find it hard to believe that Cano would be playing the outfield grass, because he hits balls in left field as well as anybody, especially good fastball that Diaz throws.
And that one bounced down the left field line, fair. 1 run scores. Heredia gets to it quickly. Davis stops at third, and it's 3-2.
That's what I mean. I mean, he's not going to try to pull the ball, but that one got by him and off the line just enough for it to sneak past into left field.
So Maxwell comes through, didn't try to do too much with it.
Fastball away and just take it left field. Look where Seager's playing. Playing a normal third base position, he might be able to handle it, but where he's playing off the line and the way they were playing him to pull, just find it really hard to believe that they would do it, but glad they did. And the A's have a chance again. Mariners going to try to end the game on a double play ground ball, as they are going to play back.
And the hitter is Yonder Alonso. That's Nuno, the left-hander. First pitch to Alonso. Down and in. Alonso a single and a double. He's 2 for 3. Tying run at third, 1 out. Good swing by Alonso. He got a fastball, and it was out over the plate. So 3 hits in the inning against the closer Edwin Diaz. And somehow that did not hit him.
And somehow Zunino caught it. That's 2 that Zunino has caught that have been running. Uh-oh, did he hurt himself?
Well, he just getting out of the way. He just did something kind of funny with his front leg a little bit. He puts it down, and then he's got to try to get out of the way.
It's always like it hyperextended.
Yeah.
Twisted a little bit when he tried to turn it away. Take the front. So it's just a cramp.
Alonso, he's going to stay in there. 2-1 the count.
After your point that you made out of Anaheim, how many games he's played this year compared to last year? Was injured, so you could see the determination of Alonso to stay in the ball game, especially at a critical time. He could have bowed out, made it tough on the pinch hitter coming in. So he's been swinging the bat well, trying to do the same here right now. Just get the ball in the air. At least do that.
2-1 pitch. Pop foul. Just to our left. So now it's 2-2. Got to put it in play.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned in the air because if his knee is bothering him at all after that little twisting effect.
Missed outside. Another off-speed pitch from Diaz. So a full count.
Alonso wants to see if Max is going to be running. Probably not. It shouldn't matter if he does run because, well, he probably know the sign if he did, but I don't think he is.
Got it. Stayed with a breaking ball. Took a little off.
Got another slider out of the strike zone, and enough that Alonso perhaps recognized it, but in doing so could not hold up his swing, and turned out it's ball 4. So it comes back to Max Muncy, who in the 7th inning was up with runners at first and third and 1 out, and a chance for the A's to take the lead. Now he's trying to do it with 2 outs.
First pitch, we had a good rip. That was that fastball, 97, and Muncy had a very, very good swing. So the crowd, just a shade under 20,000. They are up on their feet. Muncy taps it foul. He got a slider. And that slider was up a little bit. So, crowd making some noise. Not a real big crowd, but they're into it. Oh, 0-2 to Muncy. A's need a hit, a flare, anything.
Took off a slider to go to the fastball away.
100 miles an hour outside.
Looks like Zunino wants him to keep throwing the slider, whether it's to the plate. 3 again. It's going to go slider.
Got him. Nasty slider from Diaz, and he got himself in trouble. And he did a heck of a job getting himself out of trouble. So the A's get a run in the 9th on 3 hits, but they come up just a little bit short.
He went slider, got him again, and took a little bit off that towards the middle of the plate, but effective enough. And he got Alonso on the slider to strike him out. Then for Muncy, that's a tough one to try to do with two outs, and he couldn't get it done.
So the Mariners stay alive for another day. They got to pretty much win them all, and they win it tonight. Good ball game, but the A's come up just short. 2 hours and 54 minutes. And the attendance tonight was 19,796. Final score from Safeco Field: the Seattle Mariners 3 and the Oakland A's 2. You've been watching A's Baseball on CSN California. It's part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's Postgame Live with Brody Brazil and Shooty Babbitt starts right now.